And we are back. Pokemon Infinite Fusion, a hardcore Nuzlocke. The run continues here. We're opening up this video with our Route 16 first encounter, and it's going to be the Murkrow. So we're going to go ahead and pair that with the Pokemon we ended last video with. So let's roll the clip. And that Pokemon's going to be the Muck, so we get a Murkrow and Muck combination, and it is looking quite ridiculous here. You get this whole Sludge Crow combo, and I'm very interested to see what it looks like when it evolves into the Haunch Crow. That brings us to our first encounter with Team Rocket Giovanni, and unlike the base Leaf Green Fire Red, he is not messing around here. Only 3 Pokemon to his name, but it's gonna be a doozy. Arnix comes down, potentially just a Poison type, maybe got the Poison Ground in there as well, given the Onix, maybe a little bit of a Poison Rock on the side. We drop back with a Nightshade. Nice reprieve with the Black Sludge here, continually healing up, given that Poison type leftovers, if you will, as our special defense drops dramatically. The Nightshade continues to come down, but the Max Potion in response from Giovanni is huge. Another Nightshade comes down, and we continue to heal with our Sludge monster here. The Slam across the board does massive damage, but we are still above 50% HP. Acid Spray comes down once again. It's not very effective, and our defense continues to drop, but Maruk does just fine, and we keep healing. As you do, only 2 Pokemon left. The Ryrus comes down. Is that a Rhydon or a Lapras? Maybe something in between. As we are looking at our team, who should we swap to? We're also trying to watch that Erica level cap, which I do believe is 33, or should I say 35. The Ice Beam comes down. Honate tanks that no problem. We drop back with a Brick Break. It is super effective. The Chip Away in response gets us about half HP, and we clear the second Pokemon. Only one more Pokemon, but it is the Honkan. Here it is the Honkan, which is normal Ghost. That is a Haunter Kangaskhan. Not only does it look sick, that is a very formidable opponent. We do have a level 35 in the Purple as we get the doesn't affect pivot. Beautiful stuff. Dizzy Punch comes down, and it is Stab. We get a super effective bite on top, but we're gonna get outsped next turn given Haunter's speed stat, so it does look like we're gonna have to let somebody go. We haven't lost anybody since the second gym. We're gonna send out my Pride and Joy, the Honage Fusion with the Primate. The Dizzy Punch comes down 31 HP, gets the Confusion roll as well. This is absolutely brutal, so we're gonna go back into our Muck amalgamation here. The Shadow Ball comes down, does massive damage, even though it's not very effective. We get a little bit of heal. Maybe we live one more if it doesn't crit, or maybe it just goes to like Dizzy Punch and knocks us out from that range. At this point, I think it's better just to let somebody go down to open the door, maybe for Hip Trio to get in there and outspeed given Doug Trio's speed stat, but instead we go for the Purrbell. We go for the not very effective pivot, but it goes for the Chip Away on the swap, and we lose our ridiculous Purrbell. That was the Persian and Victory Bell as we tank that, and the Bulldoze comes down, but Honkan has Levitate. Of course it does. Of course it has Levitate because it's a Haunter. What are you doing? Clean this fight up, please. We drop back with our starter. We got the Ominous Wind, which does not affect because of the normal side. The Shadow Ball comes down. We hold up with 24 HP, but the Flame Burst fades, and Honkan falls. Good God, Giovanni took it all. At this point, we hatched the egg you saw in the party before. We got that from somebody in Lavender Town. It ends up being the Wynot, so we end up fusing Wynot and Eevee, and it's going to turn into something very interesting here. And we also have the potential of using a stone on it as well to kind of change its typing and stats. So we get YV for now, but keep your eye out for that. With the death count creeping up on us, we go back to Erica here, the 4th gym leader, and we want to take it all. We want to absolutely curb stomp here. So we select our 3 Pokemon to go against her 3 Pokemon, which is an absolutely awesome game mechanic that this game added. I really like that. It just makes these fights a lot closer, or does it, as Eero comes in with an adaptability stab, aerial ace, and does massive damage to the Exa-Ega duo. Whatever you call that, the Palm Tree Bird amalgamation goes down, 1 down, 2 to go, and Eero is here to stay. That super effective aerial ace is doing so much damage, it's not even funny. The Tangle of Primate drops, Vileplume almost goes down in 1 hit as well. The Citrus Berry to stall out the fight for just a moment longer, and the ace falls. Eero is not the prettiest bird out there, but man, is he strong. And that finally means we get our final starter evolution in the Charge-Ot here, the Charizard and the Pidgeot. It doesn't look the coolest, but we keep the fire flying, so why not? Speaking of why not, we go back to this combination we were talking about earlier, and we end up upgrading the Wynot into a Vaporeon Wobbuffet combo, and it looks very silly, but we will absolutely take it. That leads us back to Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town, and now that we have the Silph Scope, we can actually see the ghosts, and we're gonna be able to secure the Ghastly, leading to one of the coolest fusions ever. Really, anything that fuses with Gengar is absolutely spectacular, as you saw with Giovanni's Kangaskhan. I mean, for instance, look at this Haunt trio. So Haunter and Doug trio, you get a triple ghost coming out of the ground. That just looks incredible, but we gotta put it down anyway. And then for the actual Marowak that you use the Silph Scope on, that looks really cool as well. A Genwhack, Marowak and Gengar going back to back there is so ridiculous. And that leads us to one of the best encounters in the entire run. It's going to be the Sleeping Snorlax here. Drop back with the Pokeball and secure it. And if you couldn't guess before, we end up going with the Snorlax Ghastly, turning this into a normal ghost type, and that looks absolutely amazing. On top of that, it's gonna get Levitate, so it's immune to fighting, normal, ghost, and ground, which is just busted. We go ahead and level up our pride and joy here into the next evolution with the Haunter, and there is the Haunter Snorlax special. Meanwhile, we pop into Cycling Road to secure ourselves a Duo. For our Safari Zone first encounter, it's going to be the Rhyhorn here. Drop back with the Safari Ball and try to secure a very angry Rhino. That leads us to the much anticipated 5th gym battle against Koga and his poison type fusions here. Venomer comes down. That looks like a Grimer and Venomoth combo. And we send out our new ace here, Honlax drops back with the Yawn, but we get absolutely smacked around by that fling, I believe it was. We just got flinged on hardcore and we got poisoned. I'm not 100% sure what just happened there. All I know is we got absolutely smacked around. So we're going to get our big boy to safety and we swap into Duo Ape here. Duo Ape comes down with the Swords Dance and the leftovers for reprieve. As you can see, we are going for that sweep. We tank the Signal Beam. It's not very effective. And now we have +4 under our belt here. And we got a really nice move set, very versatile as we go in for a stab Iron Head. Remember, this is Lucario's typing in the Fighting Steel here. As the Magnafing comes down, a little Magnemite coughing cheese. Love the color scheme on that, but my gosh, the Brick Break does so much damage with the Swords Dance to boot. And the second Pokemon is deleted as the Chinook comes down. The Muck and Chansey combo. The Iron Head comes in hard though. 2 HP to Chinook's name, gets a nice little acid armor on top with a little Black Sledge reprieve as well. We saw that with our Swamp of a Monster as well in the Murkrow combination, as we are just tit for tat here, trading back and forth, but the double team raising the evasion could spell disaster if we cannot connect on this Iron Head. However, Dewey drops back and does connect, taking down the ace. Koga is down to 1 Pokemon now, and we also have the chance to learn close combat, cashing in on all of the damage that this fusion provides. 1 more Pokemon, and it's the Beether. That looks absolutely disgusting. The Beedrill Scyther combination goes in for the agility, but it's not going to do enough as we completely disrespect with the not very effective close combat. We will take the 5th gym badge. Our next fusion up is going to be the Duo and the Rhyhorn here, turning into a Rock Flying. Unfortunately, the speed stat is really slow, but it looks really cool, so we'll have to take it. And then upon evolution, it turns into the Rhydrio there with the triple-headed Rhino, looking pretty nifty. And then our starter fusion gets 1 more tiny little upgrade with the Pidgeot final evolution. That one I don't think looks as cool as the one previous, but we'll take it anyway. And you don't see this very often, but for our Route 18 first encounter, Venomoth actually gets a status down on all 6 of my Pokemon and almost wipes the entire team, all in the effort just to catch it. So we run away and live to fight another day. Goodness gracious. And that brings us to our Route 15 first encounter, just right of Fuchsia City here. We're going to try to put the little Poliwag to sleep with the Yawn, but we don't even need it as we secure it with the Pokeball. And a little Shiny Claws action here, because also in Route 15 is going to be a Shiny Oddish, so we drop back with a Pokeball and secure that as well. All right, we fuse these guys together all the way to the ends of each evolutionary line. We end up with the Vileplume here. So Vileplume and Politoed coming together for a nice grass water defensive Pokemon with Water Absorb as well. So we will take that. We then bring our Kabuto and Graveler to its natural conclusion in the Golem and Kabutops, and that doesn't look the cleanest, but it is a base rock type, so maybe we'll be able to use it down the line. And then another final fusion here in the Rhydrio, upgrading all the way to that Rhydon evolution. No problem there. It's actually a ground flying type instead of the rock flying. And that leads to my absolute favorite fusion. It's gonna be the Genlax here. Gengar Snorlax, give him a hug, carry me home. But as far as this video goes, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you on the flip. Peace.